Okay, so touch a little bit about energy. You know, what do you do if your grid goes down? Well, you could get a generator. Like I said, you could stockpile gasoline, maybe. I don't know how long it'll last. I treat the gasoline with the blue treatment stuff, gas treatment stuff that helps, you know, try to break down the alcohol that they're mixing, the methyl, the the methane, the alcoholish stuff that they're mixing in with gas these days to improve its efficiency. It also gums up carburetors and stuff. So, you know, you can only store that kind of stuff for so long. You know, you can do propane, you know, you can do diesel, you know, you have options. You have to figure out what you want to do, you know. You also can do solar, you can do wind, you know. If you're going to do solar and wind or a hydroelectric, if you have a stream or a waterfall, you should start doing that now. You don't want to just buy everything, put it into a box, and say, okay, when the stuff hits the fan, I'm going to go build a system. You don't want to do it that way. You want to start working on it now. You know, get your solar panels up, get them working, get them hooked up into a system, whether you're doing off-grid or on-grid or grid tie or battery tie with an inverter or combination. Combinations are probably the best way to go, but you have to decide what you want to do. You want to go completely off-grid, then go completely off-grid. You know, you have to decide what you want to do. Start small, work your way up. I was just starting with a 24 volt system or a 48 volt system. Those people that are on 12 volts, they end up upgrading it up to 24 later on or 48 later on. There's advantages to 12 volts, but they're limited because we get more efficiency of your conversions when you're at a higher battery voltage. I mean, it's a good thing to do. You know, one of the things is you start changing your lifestyle now. You switch over to LED lighting whenever possible. You know, you choose products that are using less energy. You know, you might just stop using certain things that are using a lot of energy. You know, you look for ways to better insulate your house, or so that you can use less energy to survive, whether it's the winter or whether it's the summer. You know, you start making changes now, and that way when you lose power, you're better off. Like right now, my computer has a battery backup on it, and it protects it from power surges. Now, I had a power surge, so I lost my computer. So it was tempting fate. I had it on surge protector outlet strips, but it actually followed the phone line into the computer, not the power line. So I was protected in a sense, but I wasn't really protected because the lightning followed the modem line coming into the DSL, and that got to my computer and took out my computer. So you need to do things now to protect yourself for future. And that was like a really good slap in the face. You know, recently the power went out. I'm sitting here in darkness going, well, you know, I need to be a little bit more prepared. Even though I was prepared, I mean, I have things that I could do if it was long term, but it was only for a short period of time. So it wasn't time to scramble at the time, and I didn't have the generator at the time either. But you know, you look at your experiences, you look at experiences from other people, and you use that. You know, you don't need a TV, you don't need a computer to survive. You know, I'm on oxygen at night when I sleep, so I need some way to generate that oxygen when I'm sleeping. I could go a while without it, but then there are times when I need it. So I have to think about, you know, how to do that. You know. So you have to look at your situation, but you know, start now. A lot of the lights in this house or apartment are LEDs, and They're not that expensive anymore. A lot of them are $4 or $5, $6. Home Depot has great deals on them, I'm sure. Lowe's has good deals on them too. You know, start conserving energy now, and that way it's a whole lot easier down the road when it's time. So, you know, you could use rechargeable flashlights, for example, and pros and cons too. I mean, I actually just purchased this little baby here. This goes onto my Porta-Cable 18-volt battery. Now I could go out and buy an elaborate system of rechargeable batteries and flashlights, and that's all I would do for flashlights. But this works off my 18 volt, and it's a fairly bright light. This is actually, I've got a yellow stripe on this battery because this battery lasts about 3 minutes running my power saw or my drill, because it's one of my oldest batteries. But it lasts a long time on a flashlight. And this flashlight, I can get an LED bulb for it, and it's going to last even longer. That's on my wish list on Amazon.com. You know, just for the price of this flashlight, I can get the bulb, but they'll last longer power. So this seems like a better way to go. These lights are $15 and they can clip onto my battery. I have 8 batteries, so I mean, there's a fair amount of light right there, you know, just for that purpose. So, you know, you have options, and you should start looking at your options now. Even if you live in an apartment, like I do, I don't have control over the service panel, so I'm limited on what I can do here. But you know, I have the battery backup on my computer, so if the power goes out, I can at least go online for a few minutes and figure out what's going on until, you know, I lose DSL. I also have a battery backup on my BiPAP and my oxygen thing. It's only going to be a short time, but it's long enough for me to get myself prepared for a longer period of time. So there's things you can do. You can put a battery backup. I mean, they're cheap. I mean, they're the cheap ones. They're $50 at BJ's. You know, they're not a lot of power. I'd rather be on a more sophisticated system, but it helps in the initial for short time loss.